The scent of rain-soaked straw and warm horsehide is the only comfort I have ever known. It clings to my clothes, my hair, my very skin, a constant reminder of my place. I am Alara, the stable girl of the Black Moon Pack, and this barn is my world. Outside its weathered wooden walls, I am less than nothing, a ghost who moves through the pack, lands unseen. I am 20 years old and wolfless, an unforgivable flaw in a world defined by the beast within. My parents died when I was young, leaving me a ward of the pack, a charity case relegated to the stables, where my lack of a wolf is less of an offense. Here, among the gentle snorts and soft whickers of the garrons, my silence is mistaken for peace. It is not peace. It is a hollow ache, a cavern in my chest where a wolf's heart should be beating in time with my own. I feel its absence every day, in the way the other pack members' sense shift with power and emotion, while mine remains flatly, unchangingly human. They smell of pine and winter frost, of river stone and crackling fires. I smell of hay and loneliness. My wolf, the other half of my soul, is silent, dormant, or perhaps, as the pack elders whisper when they think I cannot hear, simply not there at all. A defective soul, an empty vessel. Today, however, a different scent cuts through the familiar comfort of the stables. It is the smell of ozone before a lightning strike, of ancient forests and cold, hard power. It is a scent that makes the phantom wolf inside me stir for the first time in my life, a ghost of a feeling that is so sharp, so real, it almost brings me to my knees. Terror and a desperate, impossible hope war within me. I know that scent. Every member of the pack knows it, even a pariah like me. It is the scent of the Alpha King. Alpha Kalen is visiting our provincial pack on his tour of the territories. He is a king in truth, ruling over all the packs of the Northern Alliance. He is a legend, a warrior who secured his throne at an age when most are still learning to control their first shift. His power is a tangible thing, a pressure in the air that makes it hard to breathe, and he is walking towards the stables. My heart hammers against my ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. I should hide. I should run. But my feet are rooted to the packed earth floor, and that impossible scent is pulling me, drawing me in like a tide. He enters, flanked by his beta and gamma, their own powerful scents a jarring discord against the peace of my barn. But my senses have narrowed to only him. He is taller than the legends say, with shoulders broad enough to carry the weight of his kingdom and hair as black as a moonless night. His eyes, the color of molten silver, scan the stables with an air of detached authority. Then they land on me. The world stops. The scent of ozone and pine explodes in my senses, and for the first time, I can smell something else woven within it, a scent meant only for me, mate. The word is not a thought. It is a thunderclap in my soul, a primal, undeniable truth that echoes in the empty space where my wolf should be. The phantom beast inside me, the one I thought was a figment of my own desperate imagination, rises up and howls a single, joyous word, mine. For a breathtaking second, I see the recognition flash in his silver eyes. His nostrils flare, his powerful body goes rigid. He smells it too, wildflowers after a spring rain and clean sun-warmed earth. My scent, the scent of his mate, a stable girl, a wolfless nobody. The hope that had bloomed so violently in my chest withers as I watch the shock in his eyes curdle into something else. Disbelief, disappointment, and then a cold, hard fury. The air crackles with his power, no longer a distant pressure, but a crushing weight. His beta and gamma shift uncomfortably, their eyes darting between their alpha king and the dirt-smudged girl in the stables. You! Kalen's voice is a low growl, a rumble of stone on stone that vibrates through the soles of my feet. The single word is an accusation, an insult. My throat is too tight to speak. I can only stare at him, my heart breaking with every beat. The beautiful, terrible bond that has just snapped into place between us is already fraying, poisoned by his pride. I can feel his revulsion through it, a cold wave of disgust that is a physical blow. The phantom wolf inside me whimpers, a wounded animal. It cannot be, he snarls, more to himself than to me. He takes a step forward, his silver eyes raking over me, cataloging my worn leather breeches, my hay-flecked tunic, the dirt under my fingernails. He sees not a mate, but a stain on his legacy, an embarrassment, a wolfless omega, a stable hand. The fates mock me. His words are knives, each one carving a fresh wound into my soul. The pack members who had followed the king's procession are gathering at the wide stable doors now, their scents a mixture of curiosity and morbid excitement. They are going to watch. They are all going to watch. Alpha. His beta starts, his voice cautious. Kalen silences him with a sharp gesture. His gaze is locked on me, and the heat in it is not passion, but pure, unadulterated rage. He is the Alpha King. His line is ancient, his power unmatched. The moon goddess was supposed to grant him a Luna worthy of him, a queen to stand by his side. Instead, she has given him me, the ultimate humiliation. I, Alpha King Kalen of the Northern Alliance, he proclaims, his voice ringing with formal authority, each word a hammer blow driving a spike of agony through the fledgling bond. The crowd at the door grows, their murmurs falling silent. They are witnessing a ceremony, a sacred rite, but it is being twisted into something monstrous. I reject you. The words hit me with the force of a physical blow. A strangled sob escapes my lips. The pain is blinding, a white-hot agony that starts in my chest and radiates through every nerve in my body. It feels as though he has reached into my chest and ripped my soul in half. The phantom wolf howls, a sound of pure desolation that only I can hear. But he is not finished. His pride, wounded and furious, demands a more public spectacle. He wants to erase the shame of this moment, to grind the very idea of me being his mate into the dirt. He stalks forward, his hand clamping around my upper arm like a vice. His touch, which should have felt like coming home, is a brand of fire. It sizzles against my skin, a painful mockery of the faded spark. You are nothing, he growls, his face inches from mine. The intoxicating scent of him is now mingled with the bitter tang of his fury. A nauseating combination. A mistake. A weakness I will not tolerate. With a savage roar, he drags me from the relative sanctuary of the barn out into the muddy yard. The sky has opened up, a cold autumn rain turning the ground to slick, grasping mud. The pack is a semicircle of silent, staring faces. Their scents are a confusing mix of pity, scorn, and fear. He doesn't stop. He hauls me through the center of the yard, my worn boots losing purchase, my feet slipping. I fall to my knees, but his grip is relentless. He drags me through the cold, filthy mud, my hands scraping against unseen stones. Humiliation burns hotter than the pain in my chest. He is not just rejecting me. He is erasing me. He is showing his pack, his kingdom, that I am literal dirt beneath his feet. A sob tears from my throat, raw and broken. I look up at him, my face streaked with mud and tears, pleading with my eyes for him to stop. But the man looking down at me is not a man. He is a king, made of ice and iron, his face a mask of cold disgust. "Let this be a lesson," he bellows to the assembled crowd, his voice echoing across the rain-swept yard. He shoves me away from him, and I fall forward, my face pressing into the cold, wet mud. The smell of earth and my own tears fills my senses. The Black Moon Pack is weak. Your alpha allows filth like this to exist in his territory, to dream of things she does not deserve. My mate will be a queen, a warrior, a true Luna. Not this. He gestures at my prone form with contempt. The bond, already fractured, shatters. The pain is cataclysmic. A scream rips from my lungs, but it is silent. A spiritual agony so profound it has no physical sound. It feels like death. My vision whites out, and the last thing I feel is the cold rain on my back and the crushing, absolute certainty that I am utterly and completely alone. He turns his back on me and stalks away, the mud sucking at his boots. The crowd parts for him like a tide receding from a cliff face. No one looks at me. No one helps me. I am left in the mud, a broken thing. The Alpha King's rejected trash. Hours pass. Or maybe it is only minutes. Time has lost all meaning. The rain continues to fall, washing the mud from my face but doing nothing to cleanse the filth of his rejection from my soul. Eventually, the pack disperses, leaving me to the mercy of the elements. My own alpha, a man named Valerius who has always looked at me with a mixture of pity and annoyance, finally approaches. He does not offer a hand. "The Alpha King has decreed it," he says, his voice flat and devoid of emotion. "You are banished. You are to be outside the territory markers by sunrise. If you are found on Black Moon lands after that, the sentence is death. Exile. He is not just casting me out of his life, but out of my home, the only one I have ever known. I will have nothing, no pack, no family, no identity. I am no one." I manage to push myself up, my limbs trembling with cold and shock. The pain in my chest is a constant grinding weight. I stare at Alpha Valerius, the man who was supposed to be my protector, and see only the cold calculus of politics in his eyes. He is afraid of Kalen's wrath. I am the sacrifice he is willing to make to appease the king. I do not speak. There are no words left. I turn my back on him, on the stables, on the entire life I have ever known, and I begin to walk. I stumble towards the edge of the territory, a ghost leaving her own grave. The scent of the packlands, of home, begins to fade behind me, replaced by the neutral, unfamiliar smell of the wilderlands. For days, I wander. The pain of the broken bond is a living creature inside me, clawing at my insides, stealing my breath. It is a constant agony, a fire that never banks. I do not eat. I barely drink. Survival is a distant concept, an instinct I no longer possess. My human mind wants to lie down and let the forest take me. It would be a mercy. But deep inside, in that hollow place, the phantom wolf refuses to die. It is weak, wounded, but it whispers a single, stubborn word: survive. I find myself at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping my tattered clothes around me. Below, a river churns, gray and angry. The fall would be quick, an end to the pain. My body sways, my mind empty of everything but the desire for oblivion. This is it. This is rock bottom, the end of the stable girl. And then something shifts, a flicker of warmth deep in my core, a tiny ember in the vast, cold emptiness of my soul. It is not the phantom wolf. It is something else. something ancient and quiet. It pulses in time with the moon, hidden behind the thick blanket of daytime clouds. It doesn't speak in words. It offers a feeling, a sensation. The strength of the stone beneath my feet, the endurance of the ancient trees, the relentless flow of the river below. It is a power that has been dormant for generations, waiting. I take a stumbling step back from the cliff edge. The choice is mine, to fall and be forgotten, or to stand and endure. The humiliation, the pain, the loneliness, they are a fire that should have consumed me. But what if they are a forge instead? My hand goes to my chest, over the source of the agony. I will not let him be the end of me. I will not let his cruelty be my legacy. The ember of power inside me flares, just for a second, pushing back against the cold. It is a tiny rebellion, a promise whispered to the wind. I will survive. I will live. And one day, I will be more than the girl he left to die in the mud. I don't know how. I don't know what this flicker of strange energy inside me means. But as I turn my back on the cliff and walk deeper into the unknown wilderness, I make a vow. He may have rejected me, but he will not destroy me. This is not my ending. It is a beginning. 3 years later, the scent of pine and crushed herbs is my new comfort. I am no longer Ilara, the stable girl. That girl died in the mud. I am now Luna of the Whispering River clan, though we are less a clan and more a collection of outcasts and exiles who have found sanctuary in the deep wilderlands, far from the politics and cruelty of the established packs. The name was given to me in jest at first, a mockery of the title I was so publicly denied. But it stuck, because here, in this place of forgotten souls, I found my power. The flicker of warmth I felt that day at the cliff was the awakening of my heritage. I am not wolfless. My bloodline is ancient, older than the packs, older than the lycanthropy that defines our people. My ancestors were not shifters. They were conduits of the moon's pure magic, tied to the earth and the tides. They did not have an inner beast. They were the balance. The power was passed down, diluted over generations, until it fell dormant in me, mistaken for a flaw. Kalen's rejection, the cataclysmic shattering of a fated bond, was the violent jolt needed to awaken it. I was found half dead by an old woman named Anya, an herbalist exiled for practicing earth magic. She recognized the thrum of power beneath my skin. She nursed me back to health, not with pack medicine, but with poultices of river clay and teas of moon-kissed blossoms. She taught me. I learned to draw on the energy of the living world, to feel the pulse of the river, to hear the whispers of the wind. My phantom wolf was not a wolf at all, but the voice of this magic, my own primal spirit finally given a voice. Hours it would hum when I touched an ancient oak. Flow, it would whisper as I watched the river. My transformation was grueling. The pain of the broken bond never truly vanished. It became a dull, constant ache, a scar on my soul. But I learned to use it. I channeled that agony into my training. I learned to fight, not with the brute strength of a wolf, but with a grace and speed that felt like dancing. I learned to wield my power, to encourage plants to grow with a touch, to soothe a panicked animal with a hum, to see in the dark not with a wolf's eyes, but with the silver light of the moon itself. Now, I am a leader. The outcasts who live here, shifters who lost their packs or were born with strange quirks, they look to me. I do not rule them. I protect them. I have created a home for the homeless. My scent has changed. The simple, flat smell of a human girl is gone. Now I smell of night-blooming jasmine, of wet stone after a storm, and faintly, of the ozone that still clings to the memory of him. A constant, bitter reminder. My power has a scent, and it is one no one in the world has smelled for 1,000 years. Lyron, my second in command, sits across the fire from me. He is a bear shifter, exiled from his clan for refusing to follow a corrupt alpha. He is strong, kind, and his scent of honey and warm earth is a comforting presence. He found me a year into my new life, and he has been by my side ever since. The blight is spreading faster, he says, his voice a low rumble. He gestures to the north in the direction of the established pack lands. The traders who passed through yesterday said the Black Moon Pack is suffering. Their soil is turning barren, their river is running black. The withering, that is what we call it, a creeping corruption that leeches the life from the land. It started at the edges of the Wilderlands a year ago, a slow-moving decay, but now it accelerates. It kills the trees, poisons the water, and drives the animals mad. My magic can fight it. I can create pockets of life, oases of green in the spreading gray, but I can only hold it back. I cannot stop it. Anya's old texts spoke of it. A shadow entity, a creature of decay called the Morgul, sealed away by my ancestors. An imbalance in the world, perhaps caused by a king without his prophesied queen, has weakened the seal. The mention of the Black Moon Pack sends a familiar pang through my chest. My old home. The people who watched my humiliation in silence. I should feel nothing for them. But I do. A sliver of pity. And the Alpha King? I ask, my voice carefully neutral. I have not spoken his name in 3 years. Lyron's gaze is gentle. He knows my story. Everyone here does. They say Kalen is relentless. He fights the Blight with his armies, but it is like fighting smoke. His lands are suffering the worst. The capital is besieged by sickness. They say the king himself is unwell. I stare into the flames, a cold satisfaction warring with the persistent ache of the bond. Good. I hope he suffers. I hope he lies awake every night, feeling the chasm where I should be. I hope his wolf, the magnificent beast I felt for only a moment, torments him without end. He is ours, my inner spirit murmurs, a possessive, angry thought. He suffers. Good. It is not our concern, I say, my voice harder than I intend. Alara, Lyron says softly, this blight will not stop at the border. It will consume everything, your old home and our new one. He is right, and I know it. This is bigger than my pain, bigger than my desire for revenge. The prophecy Anya found in her scrolls was clear. When the shadow returns, only the united power of the Sun Alpha and the Moon Luna can restore the balance and seal the dark. Sun Alpha, Moon Luna, Kalen and me. A cruel joke played by the fates. I will not seek him out, I state, my jaw tight. I will not go back there. You may not have to, Lyron says, his expression grim. The traders also brought another rumor. The Alpha King is desperately seeking a solution. He has heard whispers of a woman in the Wilderlands with the power to hold back the withering, a so-called Luna of the river. He is coming here. The world narrows to the crackle of the fire. He is coming. After 3 years of silence, 3 years of agony, he is coming. Not for me, not to atone. He is coming for a weapon to save his kingdom. He is coming for the power of the Luna, not for the woman he threw away. A bitter, humorless laugh escapes me. The fates are not just cruel, They have a twisted sense of poetry. The girl he deemed worthless is now the only one who can save him. The air grows cold, and the scent of ozone and storms, a phantom on the wind, feels closer than ever before. Let him come. He will not find a stable girl waiting for him. He will find a queen of a different kind, one forged in the fire of his own making. My name is Kaelin, and I am a king ruling a dying kingdom. For 3 years, I have been living in my own personal hell. The crown is heavy on my head, the scepter cold in my hand. My power, once a roaring inferno, is now a banked fire, choked by ash, the ash of my regret. My wolf, my proud, powerful beast, has not spoken to me since that day. He is a silent, snarling passenger in my soul, a constant, reproachful presence. His silence is a punishment far worse than any sound. He paces the cage of my ribs, radiating a cold fury that never ceases. He wanted her. He knew the moment her scent hit us that she was our other half, mate, ours, treasure, and I, in my arrogance and my pride, had thrown her away. I see her in my nightmares, the girl with eyes the color of the forest floor and a scent of wildflowers and rain. I see her falling to her knees in the mud, the look of utter devastation on her face as I shattered the bond between us. The memory is a brand on my mind, a wound that will not heal. I feel the echo of her pain every moment of every day. The bond is not truly gone. It is a mangled, severed thing that still connects us across any distance. Her agony is a low thrum beneath my skin. Her loneliness is a cold draft in my heart. I tried to move on. My council, desperate for a queen, urged me to choose a high-born female. I tried. I chose a powerful alpha female from a neighboring pack, a suitable, strategic match. The night of the bonding ceremony, as I went to mark her, my own body rebelled. The phantom pain of my broken bond with Alara erupted, a searing agony so intense I collapsed. My wolf roared his disapproval, a visceral rejection that nearly made me shift against my will. He would accept no other. Only mate, he had snarled, the first and only words he'd spoken in 3 years. You broke us. You will not break us further. The shame of that failure was almost as public as my initial crime. The king who could not claim a mate. My kingdom whispers that I am cursed. They are right. Now, the withering consumes my lands. It is a creeping plague, a manifestation of the imbalance in the world, an imbalance I created. My warriors cannot fight it. My alphas cannot command it away. It is a spiritual sickness, and it is my fault. The prophecy is known to the elders. The sun Alpha is the sword, but the moon Luna is the shield. Without the shield, the sword strikes are meaningless, and the land will wither under the shadow. I am a sword with no shield, and my kingdom is paying the price for my sin. But there is a sliver of hope, a desperate rumor that has reached my ears. A woman in the wilderlands, an exile who has gathered other outcasts to her. They say she has a strange power over the earth, that she can create life in the midst of the decay. They call her the Luna of the river. The title is a dagger in my gut, Luna. The title I denied my true mate. I do not believe in coincidence. It must be her. It has to be. My council thinks I am a fool for chasing this rumor. A witch in the woods, my advisor, Lord Valerius from the Black Moon Pack, had sneered. The same man who so quickly carried out my order of banishment. Alpha, you must focus your armies. Do not chase peasant fairy tales. I almost tore his throat out for that. Peasant. The word echoes my own cruelty from that day. I know now what I was too blind and proud to see then. Her status meant nothing. Her spirit, the quiet strength in her eyes, even as I terrorized her, that was everything. The fates had given me a treasure, and I had mistaken it for a stone and cast it into the mud. So now I ride. I ride towards the Wilderlands with only my most loyal guards. I am not riding as a king, demanding tribute. I am riding as a beggar. My wolf, silent for so long, is stirring. He is not speaking, but I can feel a flicker of something that is not rage. It is anticipation. He can feel it too. We are getting closer. The mangled bond that connects me to her is humming with a strange energy. After days of travel through blighted, gray landscapes, we cross an unseen border. The change is jarring. The air grows cleaner. A hint of green appears on the trees. Life, faint but present, and with it, a scent on the wind. Night-blooming jasmine and whetstone. It is her. My heart seizes in my chest. It is her scent, but it is different, deeper, more powerful. It is no longer the gentle scent of a timid girl. It is the scent of a queen. My wolf lets out a low, mournful howl in my head. Mate. We follow the scent to a river that runs clear and swift, a stark contrast to the sludge-choked rivers in my domain. A small, fortified settlement is built on its banks. As we approach, figures emerge from the trees, silent and watchful. They are shifters of all kinds, wolf, bear, lynx, but they move with a cohesiveness that speaks of a strong leader. They do not look like a ragged band of outcasts. They look like an army. A tall bear shifter with a calm, steady presence steps forward to block our path. His scent is of honey and earth, and it is wrapped protectively around the floral scent that is drawing me in. A possessive rage, primal and hot, surges through me. Ours, my wolf snarls, the jealousy a living thing. I am Alpha King Kalen, I announce, forcing my voice to remain steady. I have come to speak with the Luna of the river. The bear shifter, Lyran I would later learn, looks at me with no fear, only a cool assessment. Our Luna does not receive uninvited guests. State your purpose. My purpose is with her alone. I growl, my patience wearing thin. I can feel her. She is close. The bond is screaming, a cacophony of pain and longing. Then you have no purpose here, he says. Unmoving. Leave. My guards tense, their hands moving to their weapons. But before I can give an order, a voice, cool and clear as river water, cuts through the air. Let him pass, Lyran. And then I see her. She steps out from behind a curtain of willows, and the air leaves my lungs. This is not the girl I remember. The timid, dirt-smudged stable hand is gone. In her place stands a woman who radiates a quiet, formidable power. She is dressed in simple, dark leathers, but she wears them like royal armor. Her hair, the color of rich soil, is longer, braided with silver clasps. Her eyes, those same forest green eyes, are no longer soft and pleading. They are hard as jade, sharp and knowing. She is beautiful, more beautiful than I remembered, a breathtaking vision of strength and grace. And she is looking at me with utter and complete contempt. The moment our eyes meet, the bond explodes. It is not a gentle reunion. It is a violent collision. 3 years of agony, of loneliness, of rage and regret slam into me from her end of the bond. It is so powerful I physically stagger, a hand flying to my chest. Her pain is a living entity, and it is 1,000 times worse than the echo I have been living with. I almost choke on it. How has she survived this? Alpha King, she says, and my name is an insult on her tongue. Her voice is the same, yet entirely different. It holds no warmth, no fear, only ice. You are a long way from your dying kingdom. The power clash is immediate. I am the king. I am the one who is supposed to be in command. But here, in her territory, surrounded by her people, I am the supplicant. She holds all the power. The scent of her, jasmine and storm petrichor, is overwhelming. It is the scent of my salvation and my damnation all at once. My wolf is going insane, clawing at the inside of my mind, desperate to get to her, to fall at her feet, to beg her forgiveness. Might, ours, we hurt her. Fix it. Fix it now. Ilara, I breathe her name, and it feels like a prayer. Her face hardens. I am not Ilara. That girl is dead. You killed her. I am the Luna of this clan, and you are trespassing. Every word is a perfectly aimed dart, striking the weakest points in my armor. She is right. I did kill that girl. I murdered her hope and her heart in a muddy yard for my own pathetic pride. And this magnificent, powerful woman standing before me is the result. I created her, but she does not belong to me. I have come to ask for your help, I say, my voice hoarse. The withering, I am aware of the withering. She cuts me off, her tone sharp. It is the stench of your failure. Why should I help you? Why should I save the kingdom of the man who dragged me through the mud and left me for dead? Her question hangs in the air, unanswerable. There is no reason at all, except for the broken, agonizing bond that still ties us together, a cursed thing that refuses to let either of us go. She feels it. I see the flickers of pain in her eyes, the slight tremor in her hand before she clenches it into a fist. She is not as immune to this as she pretends. Save your people, then, I plead, abandoning my pride. It is worthless here. Your old pack, they are suffering. A bitter smile touches her lips. The pack that stood by and watched? The Alpha who exiled me without a second thought. They made their choice when they chose silence. Let them live with it. She is implacable, a queen of ice and stone, and I, the mighty Alpha King, have never felt so powerless. I look from her cold, unforgiving face to the steady, protective stance of the bear shifter beside her. The jealousy is a venom in my veins. He has had 3 years with her. He has seen her grow, seen her smile. He has been the one to comfort her. The thought is unbearable. She turns her back on me, a clear dismissal. Leave my lands, Kaelin. Your war is not my own. Do not come back. As she walks away, the bond screams in protest. The pain of the impending separation is a physical threat. I cannot leave. I will not. My wolf agrees. No. Stay. Make her see. I have lost her once, through pride. I will not lose her again, through obedience. I take a step after her, my heart a leaden weight in my chest. This is not over. I will not let it be. I will stay. I will fight. I will do anything to prove that I am not the man I was, even if she never forgives me. I have to try. I have to save her from the blight, even if she hates me for it. My suffering has just begun, and I deserve every second of it. For a week, I remain. Ilara, I cannot think of her as anything else, refuses to see me. I am confined to a small, isolated camp at the very edge of her territory, a prisoner of her cold fury. My guards are restless, insulted by the treatment, but I have ordered them to stand down. We are here on her terms. Every day I try to approach her settlement, and every day Lyron and his warriors turn me away. His scent, that calm, earthy smell, is a constant irritant. It clings to the air around her home, a symbol of his place by her side. The forced proximity is a unique form of torture. The bond, reignited and raw, is a live wire between us. I feel her presence constantly, a warm glow on the horizon of my senses. I feel flashes of her emotions, a spike of irritation when one of her clan makes a mistake, a wave of calm satisfaction as she walks by the river, and always the deep, abiding ache of the wound I gave her. It is a constant reminder of my failure. My wolf paces endlessly, a caged beast driven mad by the proximity of its mate. Go to her, make her listen, beg. Meanwhile, the withering advances. The line of decay creeps closer to her small sanctuary. I can smell it on the wind, the scent of rot and despair. It is a physical manifestation of the shadow from the prophecy, the Morgul. It feeds on life, but more than that, it feeds on negative emotion, despair, hopelessness, bitterness. My kingdom is a feast for it. Ilara's sanctuary is protected by the sheer force of her will and her magic, a bubble of life in a dying world, but it is shrinking. She is fighting a losing battle, and she knows it. I can feel her exhaustion through the bond, a bone-deep weariness she hides from her people. She is pouring her own life force into holding the blight at bay. She is sacrificing herself for the outcasts she has taken under her protection. The realization hits me with the force of a blow. She is more of a queen than I have ever been a king. She protects the weak. I cast them out. Finally, the external threat becomes too great to ignore. A massive wave of the blight, energized by some unknown source, surges forward. The gray corruption devours acres of forest in a matter of hours, stopping just short of the river that marks the true heart of her territory. A miasma of shadow creatures, twisted skeletal forms made of desiccated vines and black energy, skitter at the edge of the barrier she has created. They are testing its strength. That night, she finally sends for me. Lyran appears at my camp, his expression grim. She will speak with you. I follow him to the riverbank. Alara stands there, her back to me, staring at the pulsing wall of gray decay across the water. The air is thick with the stench of it, but beneath it all, her scent is a defiant beacon of jasmine and life. It is getting stronger, she says without turning around. Her voice is tight with fatigue. I know, I reply, my voice quiet. I have been fighting it for a year. It adapts. It is drawn to you, she states, finally turning to face me. The moonlight catches in her hair, and for a moment, the icy mask on her face cracks, revealing the weary woman beneath. The imbalance you created when you broke our bond. It is a beacon for the shadow. It feeds on the sickness in your kingdom, on the sickness in your soul. Her words are true. I feel the truth of them in my bones. Then let me help you fight it. Our powers. The prophecy says they must be united. I would rather let the world burn than unite with you, she says, the ice returning to her voice. But there is a tremor of desperation beneath it. She is at her limit. You will not have to, I say, taking a step closer. She flinches, and I stop immediately, holding my hands up in a gesture of surrender. I am not asking for your forgiveness. I am not asking you to accept the bond. I am offering you an alliance. My warriors and I will fight under your command. We will help you protect your people. We will help you push back the blight. And when it is over, if you still wish it, I will leave and never trouble you again. She stares at me, her jade eyes searching my face for deceit, for the trick. She finds none. All she can find is a desperate, broken man who is willing to do anything to atone for his sins. The bear shifter Lyran steps to her side, his hand resting on her arm in a gesture of support that makes my wolf snarl. Alara, you do not have to do this, he rumbles, his gaze fixed on me. We can retreat further into the mountains. There is nowhere left to retreat, she whispers, her eyes still locked on mine. She knows he is wrong. The withering is everywhere. There is no running from it. There is only turning to face it. The alliance is a bitter pill to swallow, but it is the only path forward. Fine, she says, the word clipped and sharp. An alliance. You will follow my orders without question. Your warriors will integrate with mine. You are a weapon in my arsenal, Kaelin. Nothing more. Do you understand? I understand, I say, my voice thick with emotion. She is giving me a chance. Not for us, but for the world. It is more than I deserve. Thank you. Her expression doesn't soften. Do not thank me. I am using you, just as you intended to use me. Now get your men ready. The fight begins at dawn. She turns and walks away, Lyran at her side. He glances back at me, his eyes filled with a mixture of suspicion and pity. He is the good man, the one who was kind where I was cruel, the one who treasured what I threw away. And now I have to work alongside him, to watch him stand by her side, to see the easy comfort between them. It is another form of punishment, and like all the others, I welcome it. I have earned this pain. The days that follow are the most difficult of my life. We fight side by side against the encroaching darkness. I see her power firsthand, a beautiful, terrifying force of nature. She moves like the wind, a whirlwind of silver light and righteous fury. Where she walks, the blighted ground sprouts new green life. Her touch heals the corrupted animals. Her voice commands the very earth to rise up and fight. She is magnificent, and she is utterly exhausted. I watch her pour herself out day after day, and at night, I feel the toll it takes on her through our bond. The fatigue is so profound, it makes my own bones ache. She is burning herself out to save everyone, and she refuses to accept any help, especially from me. My offers to lend my strength are met with cold refusals. She keeps me at a distance, a tool to be used and nothing more. One evening, after a particularly brutal fight, I find her alone by the river. So pale she seems translucent in the moonlight. She sways on her feet, and I move to steady her, but Lyran is there first. He catches her, his large arms wrapping around her gently. You are doing too much, he murmurs, his voice full of concern. Let me help you back to your quarters. She leans against him, a gesture of trust that feels like a physical blow to my chest. I am fine, Lyran. Just tired. He looks over her head at me, and his gaze is not triumphant. It is sad. He sees it. He sees the unbreakable, agonizing tether that still connects us. He sees the way I look at her, the way my soul reaches for hers. He's a good man, caught in the middle of a cosmic tragedy. Later that night, he seeks me out. I am sharpening my sword by the fire of my camp, the repetitive motion a small comfort. She will not last like this, he says, his voice a low rumble. I'd know, I reply, not looking up from my whetstone. She pushes herself because she is trying to outrun the pain, he continues, the pain you caused. My hands still. I know. There is a long silence, filled only by the crackle of the fire. I love her, he says, finally, the words simple and honest. I have for 2 years. I would do anything to see her happy and whole. I finally look up at him. I see the sincerity in his eyes, the deep, abiding affection he has for her. A part of me, the primal possessive part, wants to rip him apart. But The king who has learned his lesson in the cruelest way possible just feels a wave of profound sadness. He is what she deserves, a kind, steady heart. But I am not her mate, he says, his voice heavy with resignation. I can comfort her. I can support her. But I cannot heal the wound in her soul. Only you can do that. He looks at me, his gaze intense. And you cannot heal it until you heal yourself. She will never trust your words. She has no reason to. You have to show her. You have to prove you are not the monster who hurt her. He turns and walks away, leaving me alone with his words and the crushing weight of my own failure. He is right. Words are meaningless. I broke her with an action. I can only hope to earn a fraction of her trust back with another. The time for words is over. The time for groveling has passed. The only thing left is sacrifice. I know what I have to do. The Morgul is drawn to me, to the imbalance I represent. I have to give it a target it cannot ignore. The next day, as the shadow creatures surge again, stronger than ever, I see my chance. A massive, twisted beast, the clear leader of the horde, breaks through our lines and charges directly for Alara. She is already engaged, her power focused on holding back a tide of smaller creatures. She will not see it in time. This is it, my chance to prove him right, to prove I have changed. I do not think. I only act. I throw myself in front of her, placing my body between her and the charging monster. My wolf roars his approval, a single, proud cry. Protect, mate. I manage to get my sword up, but it is not enough. The beast's claws, made of sharpened, petrified wood and shadow, tear through my armor and deep into my side. The pain is excruciating, a white-hot agony that steals my breath. But as I fall to my knees, I turn my head. I see her face. Her eyes are wide with shock, her icy composure shattered. For the first time in 3 years, she looks at me and sees not a monster, but the man who is her mate. Kaelin! Her cry is my name, but this time it is not a curse. It is a sound of pure terror. The beast rears back for another strike, the one that will end me. I close my eyes, a strange sense of peace settling over me. I have done one good thing. I have protected her. It is enough. But the blow never comes. I hear a sound like the shattering of 1,000 crystals, a wave of pure, silver energy that disintegrates the beast before it can strike. I open my eyes. Ilara is kneeling in front of me, her hands hovering over my wound. Tears are streaming down her face, washing away the mask of ice and revealing the woman I fell in love with at first sight. Why? She whispers, her voice breaking. Why would you do that? Because you are my mate, I managed to choke out, blood bubbling on my lips. My life is worthless without you. It is better spent protecting yours. The truth of my words resonates through the bond, pure and undeniable. There is no strategy, no manipulation, only the simple, desperate truth of a man who would rather die for her than live without her. She looks from my face to Lyron, who stands a short distance away, his expression one of profound sadness and understanding. He gives a small, almost imperceptible nod. He is letting her go. He is giving her the freedom to choose, to follow the bond she has fought for so long. He is a better man than I will ever be. Alara turns back to me, her hands, glowing with a soft silver light, finally press against my wound. The pain begins to recede, replaced by a gentle warmth. Her human mind is still at war. I can feel it. The betrayal, the humiliation, the years of pain. But her spirit, the ancient power inside her, is not. It reaches across the bond, not with anger, but with a desperate, possessive yearning. Ours. Heal. Claim. Don't you dare die, she says, her voice thick with unshed tears. You do not get to save me and then leave me alone again. I will not allow it. Her choice hangs in the air, a fragile, beautiful thing. She has not forgiven me. Not yet. The path back to her is long and paved with the shards of our broken past. But she has chosen it. She has chosen me. And as her healing magic flows into me, stitching together flesh and soul, I feel the first glimmer of hope I have felt in 3 long, agonizing years. The groveling is over. The atonement has just begun. Her hands are a conduit of life, pouring silver energy into the gaping wound in my side. The pain, which should be all-consuming, fades to a dull, distant throb. All I can feel is her. The warmth of her skin, the desperate hum of her power, the overwhelming scent of night-blooming jasmine that is my entire world. The war for the land rages around us, a symphony of snarls and clashing steel. But in this small bubble of moonlight and magic, time has stopped. I choose this, she whispers, more to herself than to me. Her gaze is fixed on my wound, but I can feel her decision resonate through the bond. It is not a declaration of love. It is a statement of fact, a reluctant acceptance of an undeniable truth. I choose us. As she speaks the words, something fundamental shifts in the universe. The mangled, frayed tether between our souls, the source of so much agony, flares with brilliant golden light. It is no longer a broken thing. It surges, reforging itself, weaving our spirits together not as they were, but as they are now, scarred, stronger, and finally, willingly united. The pain in my chest, the constant companion of 3 years, vanishes. It is replaced by a warmth so profound it feels like drawing my first true breath. I feel her, all of her. Her strength, her weariness, her lingering bitterness, and beneath it all, a deep well of love she has fought so hard to deny. My wolf, silent for an eternity, lets out a joyous, triumphant howl that shakes my very bones. Mate, whole, ours at last. Ilara gasps, her eyes widening. She feels it too. The completion of the bond, the fulfillment of the prophecy. Her inner spirit, the ancient moon power, surges to meet my wolf's sunfire energy. It is not a collision. It is a perfect, harmonious merging. Silver and gold, moon and sun, shield and sword. Together. The prophecy! She breathes, looking at her own hands, which now glow with a light that is both silver and gold. It's real. We are real, I say, my voice stronger now. I reach up, my hand trembling, and cup her cheek. Her skin is wet with tears. I wipe one away with my thumb. I am so sorry, Ilara, for everything. I know, she says, and for the first time, I feel the truth of it in the bond. She knows my regret is not a shallow thing. She has felt the depths of my self-hatred for 3 years. She closes her eyes, leaning into my touch for a fraction of a second, a moment of surrender that means more to me than any victory on a battlefield. But the moment is shattered by a guttural roar. The battle is turning. Our forces, buoyed by our reunion, are fighting with renewed vigor, but the source of the blight is still out there. The Morgul, the great shadow, is not a mindless beast. It is intelligent, and it feels the shift in power. It knows its time is running out. From the heart of the blighted lands, a colossal form rises. It is a creature of nightmare, a shifting mass of black vines, skeletal remains, and pure shadow, with a core of pulsing malevolent energy. It towers over the battlefield, its presence leaching the very color and hope from the air. This is the antagonist, the source of all the decay. It knows we are united, Ilara says, her voice firming, the queen returning. She gets to her feet, pulling me up with a strength that belies her slender frame. The wound in my side is still there, but it is a clean scar now, a reminder of the sacrifice that led to this moment. We stand together, facing the shadow. It is drawn to imbalance, I say, feeling the truth of it through our combined senses. But it cannot stand against true balance. She looks at me, and a real smile, small and fragile, touches her lips. Sun Alpha and Moon Luna, sword and shield, I finish for her. We do not need to speak a plan. We know. Our powers, now intertwined, move as one. I draw my sword, and its blade, once plain steel, now shimmers with a faint golden light. Ilara raises her hands, and silver moonlight coalesces around them. The army of shadow creatures between us and the Morgul hesitates, sensing the fundamental shift in the power dynamic. For our people, she says, her voice ringing with an authority that commands the very stones to listen. For our future, I add, my voice full of a hope I thought I would never feel again. We move together. It is not a charge, it is a force of nature. I am the tip of the spear, my golden blade cutting through the shadow creatures like a scythe through wheat. They disintegrate into dust before my righteous fury. But I am not alone. Ilara is the wave that follows, a cleansing tide of silver light. Everywhere the shadows fall, she brings life. Green vines sprout from the corrupted ground to ensnare our enemies. The air, once thick with despair, now smells of jasmine and ozone, of life and power. Our warriors, a united front of outcasts and royal guards, roar their approval and surge forward with us, their morale absolute. We cut a path directly to the heart of the Morgul. The creature shrieks, a sound that tears at the mind and focuses its full power on us. A torrent of pure shadow energy, a river of absolute nothingness pours towards us. Shield! I yell, planting my feet. Ilara steps in front of me, her hands outstretched. A dome of shimmering, solid moonlight springs into existence around us, the golden flecks of my own power woven through it. The shadow torrent crashes against it, and the shield holds. Cracks appear. The pressure is immense, but it holds. This is her power, her true role. She is the protector, the one who stands against the darkness. Now, sword, she grunts, the effort straining her. I place my hand on her back, pouring my strength into her, reinforcing the shield. Then, with my other hand, I raise my sword. All my power, all my rage at my past mistakes, all my love for the woman in front of me, I pour it all into the blade. It blazes with the light of a miniature sun. Together, we say, our voices as one. She drops the shield, and I lunge forward under her arm, a single perfect strike aimed at the pulsing core of the Morgul. Ilara's power follows mine, a river of silver light that wraps around my blade, guiding it, strengthening it, making it absolute. The blade sinks into the shadow heart. For a moment, there is absolute silence. Then, the Morgul lets out a final, deafening scream of pure agony. The golden silver light of our combined power erupts from its core, a supernova of creation and destruction. The shadow form dissolves, evaporating like mist in the morning sun. The blight recedes in a visible wave across the land. the gray corruption turning to healthy brown earth, the black rivers running clear, the dead trees sprouting new green leaves. The withering is gone, the balance is restored. We stand in the center of the now healing battlefield, breathing heavily, our bodies thrumming with the aftershocks of the power we wielded. Our people are cheering, a riotous, joyous sound. They are celebrating the victory, the return of life. But I only have eyes for her. I turn to Alara. She is looking at me, her expression unreadable. The battle is won, the external threat vanquished. Now only the internal one remains, the future of our relationship. The journey back to the capital is a strange one. We travel together, our two formerly separate groups, now one cohesive clan pack. The people who once scorned her name now whisper it in awe. Luna Ilara, the savior, the moon queen. They look at her with reverence. They look at me with a new respect, not for my crown, but for the visible devotion I show my mate. We do not talk about the future, not yet. We talk about rebuilding. We talk about integrating her people, the outcasts, into the formal pack structure, giving them rights and a home. She is a natural leader, her ideas full of compassion and a wisdom born of suffering. I find myself listening, truly listening, for the first time in my life. I am still the king, but we are ruling together. It is a partnership of equals, forged in fire and pain. When we finally arrive at the capital, the entire city has gathered. The news of our victory and of the Luna's return has spread like wildfire. As we ride through the gates, a hush falls over the crowd. They see me, their king, alive and well. And then they see the woman riding beside me, not behind me. She is no longer in worn leathers, but in a simple gown of silver that seems to shimmer with its own light. She carries herself with a quiet grace that is more regal than any crown. We dismount before the royal citadel, in the very courtyard where my father was crowned, and there, before my entire kingdom, I do what I should have done 3 years ago. I go down on one knee before her. Gasps ripple through the crowd. A king does not kneel, but I am not just a king. I am a man who owes his soul to the woman before him. Alara, I say, my voice clear and strong, for all to hear. 3 years ago, in the mud and the rain, I committed the greatest sin of my life. I rejected my mate, my queen, and my heart. I broke you, and in doing so, I broke myself and our kingdom. There are not enough words in any language to express the depth of my regret. I will spend the rest of my life, however long you grant me, atoning for it. I look up at her. Her face is calm, but her eyes are shimmering with unshed tears. This is not for show. This is our truth, laid bare for the world to see. I am not asking you to be my queen, because the prophecy demands it, I continue, my voice thick with emotion. I am asking because I love you, because you are the strongest, wisest, most compassionate person I have ever known, because you are the sun to my moon, the shield to my sword. You are my other half, but your choice must be your own. If you wish to remain here and rule by my side, I will be the proudest man in the world. If you wish to return to your river and your quiet life, I will understand. If you wish for me to abdicate my throne and spend my days tending your gardens, I will do it without hesitation. Your happiness is the only law I will obey from this day forward. I bare my throat, the ultimate gesture of submission. I offer her my life, my crown, my future. It is all hers to command. The choice is hers. She is silent for a long moment, the entire kingdom holding its breath. Then, She reaches down, her gentle fingers touching my chin, urging me to look at her. Get up, Kaelin, she says softly, a real warm smile finally reaching her eyes. A king should not kneel. He should stand beside his queen. I rise, my heart soaring. She takes my hand, her fingers lacing with mine. She turns to the crowd, her voice ringing with a new, quiet confidence. The past cannot be erased, she says, her gaze sweeping over the faces of my people, of her people. The scars we carry are a part of us. They remind us of the price of pride and the power of forgiveness. We will not be a kingdom that hides its scars. We will be a kingdom that heals them together. A roar of approval erupts from the crowd, a sound of pure joy and hope. They accept her. They love her. Months later, the kingdom is thriving. The land is fertile. The people are hopeful. Ilara's outcasts have been given places of honor, their unique skills and perspectives strengthening our society. The old, rigid prejudices are slowly dissolving, replaced by the culture of compassion and acceptance that Ilara champions. I find her on the balcony of our chambers, looking out at the rising moon. The bond between us is a calm, steady sea of warmth and contentment. The phantom pains are gone, but the memory of them remains, a reminder to never take this peace for granted. I wrap my arms around her from behind, resting my chin on her shoulder. She leans back against me, her body fitting perfectly against mine. The scent of jasmine is much better than the scent of hay, I murmur into her hair. She laughs, a sound that is still the most beautiful music I have ever heard. I do not know. The stables were quiet. Ruling a kingdom is very loud. Are you happy, Ilara? I ask, my voice serious. She turns in my arms, her forest green eyes soft and full of a love that I still feel I have not fully earned. She raises a hand to my face, her thumb tracing the faint scar on my cheek from an old battle. We are scarred, Kaelin, she says softly. Both of us. You wear yours on the outside, I wear mine on the inside. They may never fade completely, but they are a part of our story. She leans in and kisses me, a soft, promising kiss. We are not perfect. We are not a fairy tale. We are earned. We are scarred, but we are whole. And yes, she adds, a radiant smile spreading across her face. I am happy. I kiss her back, pouring all my love, my gratitude, and my devotion into it. She is right. Our beginning was a tragedy written in mud and tears. But our future is a story we will write together, every day, as equals, as mates, as the sun Alpha and his moon Luna, finally in balance.